As a professional artist, I was thrilled to have the opportunity to display my work in Jungkook's meeting room. He was scheduled to meet with clients from abroad, and I wanted to create a piece that would make a lasting impression. I spent hours selecting the perfect colors and brushes and pouring my heart and soul into every brushstroke. The canvas was a vibrant depiction of our love, with swirling colors and abstract shapes that seemed to pulse with energy. Jungkook Ju was fully invested in his work, preparing for the upcoming meeting with international clients. We would often pass each other in the hallway, exchanging brief smiles and hellos, but our time together was limited. I could see the tension in his eyes. We arrived at the office, and I carefully placed the canvas in the meeting room, making sure it was perfectly positioned. Jungkook walked in, and his eyes widened as he took in the vibrant colors and abstract shapes. A smile spread across his face, and he let out a low whistle. "Ryan, this is incredible!" he exclaimed. "You are so talented." I blushed, feeling a sense of pride and gratitude. "Thank you, Jungkook. That means a lot coming from you." His coworkers gathered around, admiring the piece and congratulating me on my talent. I felt a sense of pride, knowing that my art was bringing joy to others. Jungkook took my hand, his eyes shining with pride, and thanked me for my contribution. As we stood there, surrounded by the hustle and bustle of the office, I felt a sense of connection with Jungkook. We exchanged a glance, and I knew that we were both thinking the same thing. We needed to find more time for each other, away from the chaos of work. We arrived home, and I decided to cook a delicious dinner for us, hoping to bring some warmth and comfort to our busy lives. As we sat down to eat, I noticed the dark circles under Jungkook's eyes, the fatigue etched on his face. We chatted about our day, but I could sense his mind was still preoccupied with work. After dinner, Jungkook excused himself and headed back to his room, leaving me alone in the silence of our home. I heard the familiar sound of his keyboard clapping, the rustling of papers, and my heart sank. He was working again, neglecting his own well being for the sake of his job. I felt a surge of concern, knowing he had been pushing himself for days, skipping sleep and meals. His health and happiness meant everything to me, and I couldn't bear the thought of him burning out. I decided to take matters in my own hands, to find a way to bring back balance into our lives, to remind him that love, rest, and connection were just as important as success. I slipped into something silky and smooth, a sly smile spreading across my face. I made my way to Jungkook's room, my heart racing with anticipation. I sat on his lap, the gown covering my lingerie, and whispered in his ear, "A little distraction won't harm." Jungkook's hands were on my thighs, and as he felt the smooth fabric, his eyes widened in surprise. He looked at me. I could see the desire burning in his eyes. Without a word, he swept me into his arms and carried me to our bedroom. As we lay together, our bodies entwined, our love shone brighter than any canvas. Our meeting room. Every touch, every kiss, every moment was filled with passion and adoration. We lost ourselves in each other's embrace, our love igniting a flame that burned brighter with every passing moment. Afterward, we lay together, holding each other close and watching the stars twinkling through the window. Jungkook whispered sweet nothings in my ear, telling me how much he loved me, how grateful he was for our life together. I smiled, knowing that our love was the greatest masterpiece of all. As we lay there, basking in the glow of our love, I knew that I had to find a way to keep Jungkook from burning out. I couldn't bear the thought of him exhausting himself, neglecting his own well-being for the sake of his job. "Jungkook," I whispered, my voice soft and gentle. "You need to take care of yourself. You can't keep pushing yourself like this." He looked at me, his eyes filled with a deep sadness. "I know, my love, but I have to provide for us, for our future." I took his hand, my fingers intertwining with his. "Our future is worth nothing if you're not here to share it with me. Promise me you'll take care of yourself. For me. For us." He nodded, a small smile on his face. I promise, my love, I'll find a way to balance work and life. For you, for us, I'll do it. As he spoke, he traced my cheek with his finger, his touch sending shivers down my spine. I leaned in, my lips brushing against his in a soft, gentle kiss. I love you, I whispered. I love you too, he replied, his voice barely above a whisper. In that moment, our love was the only thing that mattered. We knew that as long as we had each other, we could face anything life threw our way. As we kissed, the world around us melted away, leaving only the two of us, lost in our own little bubble of love. We lay there for a while, holding each other close, our hearts beating as one. Finally, Jungkook pulled back, a slight grin spreading across his face. You know, I think we've had enough distractions for one night. I have an early meeting tomorrow and I need to get some rest. I pouted, pretending to be disappointed. Oh, okay. I guess I'll just have to wait until tomorrow night for our next distraction. Jungkook chuckled, his eyes twinkling with amusement. I'm looking forward to it, my love. But for now, let's just get some rest. We can face whatever tomorrow brings together. I nodded, slugging into his side as we drifted off to sleep. I love shining bright like a beacon in the darkness. Next morning, Jungkook went to office. I walked into the office, feeling a sense of excitement and anticipation. I spotted one of Jungkook's colleagues and approached him with a curious smile. Hey, how did the meeting go? Is Jungkook free? The colleague smiled back at me. The meeting was a huge success. The contract was signed and Jungkook is thrilled. He's in his cabin. Go ahead and congratulate him. I made my way to Jungkook's cabin, my heart racing with excitement. I knocked on the door and he called out, "Come in." As I entered, Jungkook looked up from his desk, a beaming smile on his face. Hey, my love, I did it. The contract is signed and everything is going to be okay. I rushed over to him, throwing my arms around his neck. I'm so proud of you, Jungkook. You deserve it. He hugged me back, his lips brushing against my ear. Thanks to you, my love. You're my good luck charm. We chatted for a bit, reliving the excitement of the meeting, and then Jungkook leaned in and kissed me softly. Let's celebrate with lunch. My treat. I nodded eagerly, and we walked out of the office together, hand in hand, feeling like we were on top of the world. As we sat down at a nearby cafe, Jungkook turned to me with a grin. You know, I couldn't have done it without you. You're my rock, my love. I blushed, feeling my heart melt at his words. I'll always be here for you, Jungkook, forever and always.